Hi, I'm Dan O'Leary, broker and lead appraiser here at Asset Real Estate Services, and this is your El Paso Real Estate Market Watch for July 2010. The El Paso Association of Realtors reported 387 closed sales. That's down 45.72% from last month's 713 and down 25.86 from 516 sales in July of 2009. These are really weak numbers, but I think that the effect of the tax incentive has more or less cycled out of the market. So I think we're going to be experiencing our more natural sales levels in light of the skittish mortgage lending and underwriting, which equates to fewer qualified buyers, and consumer uncertainty that's in the market. The average sales price was $157,928. That's up from last month's $148,444. Appears to be trending upward. Using July sales numbers, we've got 9.7 months of inventory, and using a 6-month running average, we have 6.8 months worth of inventory. So we're slightly on the oversupply side of equilibrium, whichever way you look at that. House Bill 5072 just gave FHA the authority to increase its monthly mortgage insurance collected in its loans from 0.55% to 1.55%. There's concern that FHA might be cash strapped, so we have a new tax on home buyers. Let's look at the effect on a $200,000 loan. The old rate cost around $88.46 per month. At 1.5%, that would be $249.25 per month, an increase of $160.79. I realize that there's some financial issues still out there to shore up, but any step that makes home ownership more expensive just seems to be digging the hole deeper. Without a strong housing recovery, there will be no strong recoveries in any other markets. On a brighter note, the HVCC, the Home Valuation Code of Conduct, is officially dead, sunset with the passing of the Financial Reform Bill. It just really feels good to say it. The act sent all the appraisal business up to management companies to be distributed, and in most cases took the intelligence out of the appraisal assigning process. Lenders and realtors tended to complain about poor appraisals, not to mention that the appraisal management companies, or the AMCs, picked us appraisers' pocket for about a third of our normal fees. So I really wish I was celebrating more, but the fact of the matter is not much is going to change. The AMCs are here to stay, as they're owned by the big guys who make all the decisions, the big banks. Although we will no longer be required to use them, that's how most of the lenders are going to do it. Congress has got 90 days to rewrite the legislation affecting the appraisal process, and some of the language in the bill states that brokers will probably be allowed to order appraisals directly, but realtors and commission loan officers will not. AMCs will need to be regulated, and they'll need to pay market-based fees. I was talking the other day with a broker friend of mine. He was relaying the story of a homeowner who had been considering moving up to a bigger home before the economy slowed up, and he now wants to wait until he regains some equity he feels that he lost in the home. That's an interesting scenario, and I think that it may reflect some flawed reasoning. I think sometimes we get hung up on perceived loss, and it keeps us from greater opportunity. Let's take a look at an example. Let's say Bob has a house that's worth $150,000 a couple of years ago, which he was thinking on selling because he found a great house he wanted to move up to at $300,000. But before he got everything rolling, the market stumbled and home prices dropped 20%. His home is now worth $120,000. So he decides that he wants to wait a couple years till the value in his home comes back. Sure enough, prices rise 20% and his home is now worth $150,000 again. And he regains the $30,000 that he felt that he had lost. Well, Bill also has a house that's worth $150,000 a couple years ago, and he was thinking on selling because he found a great house, might even be the same one, that he wanted to move up to at $300,000. Before he got everything rolling, the market stumbled and home prices dropped 20%. His home is now also worth $120,000. So Bill sells his home and he buys the $300,000 home for $240,000 because the market's down 20%. Well, prices rise 20% and Bill now has $60,000 in growth. Who came out better? Bill did, of course. Slow buyer markets are great times to buy and sell real estate. A man and a boy were walking down the road, and the boy was riding a donkey. Some people came by and said, "What a shame, that boy's riding the donkey and making the old man walk." So the boy got down and the man got on. Then they ran into some more people who said, "How unfair that the boy has to walk." So they both got on and rode. Again, some people came by and said how horrible for that poor beast to be burdened so with both riders. So the man and the boy got off and they carried the donkey. As they were crossing a bridge, the donkey slipped and they dropped it into the water. So the moral of the story is, if you rely on what other people say, you will lose your donkey. And if you'd like me to help you keep an eye on the value of your home, you can sign up for my free service at homevaluesep.com. Well, that's it for July. If you like the information, you can subscribe for free down below. And if you know anyone who might like this information, please feel free to forward it to them. Until next time, ciao.